Well, what's up, guys? Skap here. And you know I just had to get on here and talk about LeBron's big night. In case you did miss it, though, just let ESPN tell you all about it. Their top headline on the ESPN mobile app at the moment is LeBron saves day as putback buzzer lifts LA. And as further evidence that LeBron did indeed have a big night, look no further than the myriad of scrub jock sniffers who rushed to my platform to tell me all about his big game, to comment on my video yesterday about how it aged poorly. Really, it aged poorly because LeBron made an uncontested putback garbagey little tip-in at the buzzer. And this is a guy, by the way, who entered the game last night just 1 of 29 in his last 30 attempts. That is with 5 seconds or less remaining in the fourth quarter or overtime, with a chance to take the lead or tie the game. LeBron just 1 of 29 in his last 30, dating back to when he arrived in LA. Guys, it is 2025 right now. That is 7 years ago. So kudos to the King for finally getting off the schneid and making one of these. It lifts him now to 2 and 30 in a Lakers uniform. And for those of you who are challenged at math, allow me to do it for you. That is good for 6%. What a huge bucket for the King. Not mentioned, though, in any of the coverage of LeBron's tip-in buzzer beater is the fact that he was just 4 of 12 from the field for the night, 0 of 3 from the three-point line. He entered the fourth quarter with his big double-digit streak in jeopardy, but did end up pulling out 13 points in the game. Luka, meanwhile, had 34 points. Austin Reeves added 24. Both of them shot above 50% from the field for the game. And speaking of Luka, of course, it was him that had the ball in his hands for that last shot when it really mattered. Keep in mind, let's take a look at the play here. LeBron gets the ball in his hands there, and he gives it up, rightfully so, to Luka. Luka drives in, sucks literally the entire defense. And guys, when I say the entire defense, look at all 5 of those Pacer players are completely dedicated to Luka Doncic. Look, LeBron is just lurking around back there under the rim, completely uncovered. No one puts a body on him or Rui Hachimura. It was a perfect rollout, perfect positioning. Literally, the heavens opened up, and a guy who is shooting 37% for his entire career outside of 3 feet from the basket in LeBron James was just in the right place at the right time.
Boss Billy Ho, even the sun shines on the dog's ass some days.
But look at this celebration. LeBron just having the day of his life. Thank goodness for LA. It does save them from really bottoming out. It would have been their 4th consecutive loss, so it snaps their 3-game losing streak, and it holds them just ever so tenuously in the 4 spot, tied in the loss column for the 3 with Denver. They're in that most important 3-4-5 seed line battle out west. And this is what happens when you have a bona fide closer, a real alpha in Luka Doncic. He sucks in all of the attention in these late game situations, and he is actually quite good in the clutch. So LeBron actually did make the right basketball play, as he is always credited for doing. He gave the ball up to a real closer, and it allowed LeBron to snake around for his little tip-in. But look, credit where credit is due for the King on the night, LeBron. He did enter the night minus 70 for the season, which, guys, is not good. But he was a +5 last night, so glass half full, maybe he is getting better. That lifts his total now on the season to minus 65, which, if you're keeping track, is 416th best in the NBA. That's out of 560 qualified players. And for, some comparison and context, if you want, Luka Doncic, who has played in only 41 games this season, that is 20 fewer than LeBron James, is 36th league-wide in plus-minus. He's sitting at plus 253. But again, a pivotal, crucial win for the Lakers. It, again, keeps them from bottoming out and really dropping to what's looking more and more like a 5 seed for them. It gives them a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of hope to at least get the home court in that 4-5, maybe even run down Denver. But things now all of a sudden looking up for the Nuggets, because last night it was the return of the king, the real king. Nikola Jokic was back. He was back following an 11-game absence while he was nursing, a myriad of injuries. He had 2 different elbow injuries on both arms, some kind of an ankle foot injury as well. The guy dropped 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists on March 15th. Sat out with all of the injuries. And then last night, a surprise activation before tip, which, speaking of surprises and pre-tip activity as it relates to injuries, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a surprise deactivation before tip. So the Joker returns to the lineup while Dame is out for his first game with those blood clots, the first of many presumptively. And Giannis Antetokounmpo also out. And Jokic just did not miss a beat despite the 11-day absence. Again, 40, 13, and 9 his last time out. Last night, how does 39 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists grab you in leading the Nuggets to a much-needed win on their behalf too, 127-117 over the now slumping Bucks. And with only 8 games remaining and Denver in that 3 seed, looks like they're maybe going to have some hope to hold on to that 3. Who knows, maybe even jump to the 2. Houston, though, does have a 2-game lead on them, but Houston's remaining schedule is pretty brutal compared to the Nuggets. And in other sneaky news that no one's really talking about around the association, the emergence of the Boston Celtics. The team that actually won the NBA championship last year, that had a historic season in their own right last season, that has kind of virtually been playing possum all season to this point. Yeah, well, they were in action last night without Jason Tatum. Tatum, who was hobbled with that ankle injury the last time that we saw the Celtics on the floor, and is probably going to miss some games there. No Tatum, though, no problem last night, as Boston absolutely hammers Phoenix 132-102, a 30-point beating for Phoenix at home. Again, no Tatum, doesn't matter. Porzingis actually led the C's on the night. And quietly now, Boston is 12-1 in this month of March. Their only loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder by 6 points. And if you go back, they are now 18-3 in their last 21. Boston looks to be coming on and heating up, flipping the switch, if you will, right when they need to, heading into, we're about 2 weeks out now from these playoffs, and playoffs that probably Phoenix is never even going to get a look at, as again, they get hammered by 30 at home. The loss drops them now to 35-38. They are in an absolute deadlock tie with the Dallas Mavericks for the 10th and final play-in seed spot.
Whatever that thing is, whoever came up with that need to be fired.
I mean, this would be the most disastrous, most pathetic of all looks for KD and the Phoenix Suns. Dallas traded away Luka Doncic, lost virtually their entire team for at least a month straight. If they somehow outduel Phoenix down the stretch in these last 2 weeks, I mean, I don't know how it can get any worse for a Suns team that held on to all of his assets through the trade deadline. I guess they had no choice, though, with Bradley Beal and that no trade clause. But the writing is on the wall for Matt Ishbia and the Phoenix Suns. Probably you should enjoy this last 2-week run, because it will likely be the last of these Phoenix Suns in this iteration. You have to think this is a complete blow-up job in the summer. Definitively, Kevin Durant has got to be moved in some capacity. He's got to get out of Phoenix. And it doesn't get any easier for the poor slumping Suns, as they will have tonight off, and then on Friday, they are at Minnesota. Of course, as we remember, that matchup didn't go very well for the Suns last year, as they were swept in the first round of the playoffs by Minnesota. So again, that matchup looming large on Friday night. And guys, before I sign off for the day, I did want to talk to you about something not YouTube related. I am on other things, other platforms that I would love if you would follow me there. You can find me on X at Skap Attack, and I am also going to be announcing here an exciting new opportunity to follow me on some platform that I really didn't know much about until a week or two ago, Discord. So you can find me on the Skap Attack community server there on Discord. I will put the link to both my Discord server and my X handle account in the description for this video below. So please, if you are on either of those platforms, throw me a follow, and you can catch up with me and chat with me on there as well. Guys, many thanks for tuning in. Many thanks for joining me. If you are not subscribed to me here on YouTube, of course, please do that as well. And stay tuned for more from me. Until next time, guys.